XXX, petitioner, versus people of the Philippines, respondent. Facts. After years of their marriage since 2006, the petitioner, XXX, was charged with a violation of Section 5(I) of Republic Act 9262, based on information dated January 29, 2016. His wife, AAA, accused him that he then and there willfully, unlawfully, feloniously deprived his minor child of financial support legally due to AAA and to her minor child BBB and abandoning them totally, causing psychological and emotional anguish to AAA and her minor child. After reinvestigation and careful evaluation of the evidence presented by both sides, the prosecutor found no reason to reverse or modify the resolution dated January 29, 2016, finding probable cause for violation of Section 5(I) of Republic Act 9262 against petitioner. Upon arraignment, the petitioner pleaded not guilty to the crime charged. Thereafter, trial on the merits ensued. The problem ensued when AAA decided to look for a job abroad to help sustain their family. In 2008, AAA left for Singapore. In May 2015, AAA learned that petitioner is in a romantic relationship with another woman, CCC. The petitioner even messaged AAA not to communicate with him anymore. Making things worse, in July 2015, AAA discovered that CCC was pregnant with the petitioner's child. On several occasions, the petitioner and CCC would send AAA text messages just to spite her. Later on, AAA learned that the petitioner brought CCC to their hometown, prompting AAA to return to the country. Upon learning that petitioner and CCC started to cohabit, AAA sought the help and assistance of the Department of Social Welfare and Development in getting her daughter, BBB, from her mother-in-law. BBB further confirmed that the petitioner, her father, had a girlfriend, CCC, whom the petitioner would bring home every now and then. When asked to explain why she was crying, BBB explained that it was because her father and CCC had an affair, and that she wanted her father and mother to reconcile together. BBB said that she no longer loved her father. The petitioner's argument: contrary to AAA's accusations, it was the petitioner who had custody and who primarily took care of their child BBB since AAA left the country and worked in Singapore. Petitioner initially denied knowing CCC, but subsequently clarified that they went to the same secondary school, but had not seen CCC in a long time. When asked if he was providing support to BBB, he replied that since October 2015, when BBB was taken from him, he stopped giving support because AAA does not allow BBB to be near him nor show her to him. Issue: whether XXX depriving the minor child, BBB, of financial support and his marital infidelity constitute violation of Section 5(I) of Republic Act 9262, causing mental or emotional anguish on the child. Ruling: yes. XXX violated Section 5(I) of Republic Act 9262 by depriving his child of financial support and having an extramarital relationship with CCC, causing mental or emotional anguish to his family. The court in Reyes v. People elucidated that conviction under Section 5(I) of Republic Act 9262 requires proof of the indispensable element. 1. Psychological violence as the means employed by the perpetrator, consisting of any acts enumerated in Section 5(I) or similar acts, and 2. The mental or emotional suffering or damage sustained by the offended party. Further, it has been stressed that the law does not require proof that the victim becomes psychologically ill due to the psychological violence done by her abuser. Rather, the law only requires emotional anguish and mental suffering to be proven. To establish emotional anguish or mental suffering, jurisprudence only requires that the victim testify in court and narrate such experiences. The court found that the testimonies of AAA and BBB clearly established the presence of the third and fourth elements, i.e., the offender causing the woman and/or child mental or emotional anguish through acts of public ridicule or humiliation, repeated verbal and emotional abuse, denial of financial support or custody of minor children, or access to the children, or similar to such acts or omissions. There are several forms of abuse, the most visible form of which is physical violence. Republic Act 9262 enumerated in a non-limiting manner the various forms of violence and abuse that may be committed against women and children. Marital infidelity is one of the forms of psychological violence. The prosecution was able to satisfactorily establish the petitioner's marital infidelity, his cohabitation with CCC, who even bore him a child, and his abandonment of AAA. BBB's psychological trauma was evident when she wept in open court upon being asked to narrate the petitioner's infidelity. In particular, BBB explained that she was deeply hurt because her father had another family and loved another woman other than her mother. AAA. Penalty imposed. Section 6 of Republic Act 9262 provides the penalty of prison mayor for acts falling under Section 5(I) of Republic Act 9262. In addition, a fine of not less than 100,000.00 pesos but not more than 300,000.00 pesos is imposed. Moreover, the perpetrator shall undergo mandatory psychological counseling or psychiatric treatment and shall report compliance to the court. The Court of Appeals therefore correctly modified the penalty imposed upon the petitioner to an indeterminate sentence of 2 years, 4 months, and 1 day of prison correctional as minimum to 8 years and 1 day of prison mayor as maximum, to pay a fine in the amount of 100,000.00 pesos and undergo psychological counseling.